So this is the Unfiltered podcast with Elif and Leticia, and this is our first episode. So welcome. Hi, Elif.
Hey, welcome. Hi, Leticia. And we just want to welcome all of you. We hope that you enjoy a little preview or a sneak peek into how we connect. Um, so we're going to introduce ourselves first. Leticia, you can go ahead.
Yes. Okay. So I am a licensed therapist in California. I've been practicing since I want to say 2014 or 15, but I got licensed in 2019. So I've been practicing since then as a licensed therapist. And then I'm also a Reiki master, Karuna Reiki master. So I also do that. So I guess you can consider me in a sense, which I don't usually refer to myself as this, but like more of an intuitive therapist on top of that, because I do see things from a different perspective lots of times. So I think this is why we connect in so many ways, because a lot of what people are going through, a lot of it is really spiritual issues. And so this is, where we get into a lot of what we're probably going to be talking about here in our podcast. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm located in California, and then you're located in Cape Town,
Cape
right?
Town,
Cape Town.
South
Hmm.
Africa. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So, and that's how we met as well. You going through
yeah,
your awakenings and you processing your spiritual self and your spiritual
yeah.
awakenings and processes. That's how you and I met and started working together. So I'm Elif, and I am a psychic medium and channel, and I do spiritual life coaching. So I teach and I guide spiritually because, yes, I agree with you that everything is rooted in our spirituality. We are souls having a human experience. And so that is basically
Mhm.
what I base my work on. I was born this way. So I've been able to see things, channel. I've always been speaking to a very beautiful soul. And when I was a little girl, I likened him to what I knew to be Jesus, because I did have my family when I was very little. My biological family, my maternal family, was Christian, and so that was sort of my point of reference. And he did have this unconditional, loving, non-judgmental, I'm your best friend energy. And I don't think it mattered to him what I called him, because it still doesn't matter what I communicate with and what I call source or my guides. But yeah, I've always been this way. I could always see, I always received messages, downloads for people that I'm connecting to, interacting with. And over the years, my journey's been about uh, putting myself and my life back together in a way that makes sense, and learning through that process that nothing is ever broken, and I was never broken, that I was always whole. It's just my understanding or my perception of that was a little bit diluted with a lot of life. And so in my adult life, I've always been, no matter what my career path has been, I come from corporate, and then I went into massage therapy, alternative therapies, and beauty industry. But no matter where I went, I was always doing this work with the people that I would interact with. And before COVID, for me, it was, I'm trying to think of the exact year. I think it was around 2015 that my life started to collapse and fall apart in a huge way. I couldn't, like I say, I could always find my way into the system and do my work from there, but the system started to really spit me out and reject me. So my calling started to come into the forefront of what I do, and I started to go through major awakenings, and then I started to do this work on a more full-time basis. So I've got a lot of experience and a lot of history with spirituality and integration
Wow.
and diversity. So bringing things back together. And my name, Elif, I changed it. My name used to be Chanel. and I changed it in my adult life. And Elif means to reconcile. So
Wow.
that is very much the work that I do. And that's how you and I met as well. So yeah, I'm a
Yes.
single mom. I live in Cape Town, South Africa. Um, and yeah, I love what I do and I get to do it every day. And I'm hoping to share much more of that, you and I together, with our
Yes.
listeners and our viewers.
Yeah. So, I really love the fact that we have, that it's like an unfiltered podcast because I really feel like the way that we communicate has really always been unfiltered in a lot of ways. And so, I want this podcast to definitely be that. Um,
Yes.
I think that whoever is attracted to this podcast will probably find themselves being a very raw and honest and direct human being as well. So they'll probably
Yeah.
feel like, yes, like I somehow agree to that or I've been through that. So, I definitely trust that the universe will attract whoever, it has similarities to some extent, with our experiences or even like mindset, just all of that. So I'm excited about that.
Absolutely. Um, a safe space in essence, to
Yes.
just be yourself. And you and
Yeah.
I both feel very passionate about that. You and I have both done a lot of work to get to this place where
Yes.
we are unapologetic about that, and we understand the value of it. And I was just thinking whilst you were talking, you are what I don't have many friends. You have a lot of friends. You're a Cancerian, but I don't have many friends. But you are one of my only friends in adult life. I remember when I was a kid, I used to have this where I've been able to, even our disagreements or our fights have been healthy, and we've been able to be transparent, and we've given one another some space to process and stuff like that. In this world, especially for those of us who are dynamic and we've come here to disrupt, to create space for rebirth and growth, we've found ourselves having to shrink in spaces
Mm-hmm.
and to hold back, and because we've been made to feel that we're too big or we're too much or too over the top. So I agree with you. I'm hoping that this becomes an inspiring space for people who have felt like they have had to be smaller to be
Mm-hmm.
palatable and to be able
Yeah.
to be loved a little bit. So
Yes. Yes. I
definitely.
agree. I agree. Definitely just being genuine, being your authentic self, not thinking that you're too much, and that you need to make yourself small for other people's comfort. Like I don't like that. And I always am very passionate about that even with when I'm working with clients. So, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Okay.